الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال الله تعالى في كتاب الكريم من سورة آل عمران بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون صدق الله العظيم. فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking for His forgiveness. And we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from our evil deeds and the evils of our own selves. For whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, none can lead astray. And whomsoever is misled, none can guide. And we bear witness and we testify with full belief and with no hesitation that Allah alone is worthy of our worship. And we bear witness and we testify with full belief and with no hesitation that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his final messenger and prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us in the Quran, O you who believe, O you who have iman, have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as He is deserving of it. And die not except in state of total and complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Islam. Verily the best of words are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, and the best of guidance is the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Amma ba'd. We praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly and continuously. We praise Him and we thank Him for all the countless blessings that He has given us. As He tells us in the Quran, وَأَسْبَغَ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعَمَهُ ظَاهِرَةً وَبَاطِنًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He has unleashed His uncountable blessings upon us. Those that we see, those that we don't see. Those that we remember and those that we don't remember. So we praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of them likewise. We praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gift of today. Because today is a gift that you and I got that someone else didn't get. So we praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that gift. And we ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives His rahmah and His maghfirah on those who have passed away. We praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to live to the best day of the week, to be able to witness this day of Friday, because it's an opportunity, it's an amazing opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he taught us that today, Friday, Jumu'ah, it's an opportunity for myself, first and foremost, and then all of us to gain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's maghfirah, to gain His forgiveness. It's an opportunity for us to gain His forgiveness, for us to gain His mercy. So I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows each and every one of us to gain His forgiveness and to gain His mercy on this day. We praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to live to the month of Ramadan. But not only to live to the month of Ramadan, but to be able to live through the month of Ramadan. We ask and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted our Ramadan. You know, subhanAllah, it's as quickly as it came, it left. And now we're in Shawwal, and Shawwal's already halfway through. Time is going by so fast. And you know what? The companions, radiallahu anhum ajma'een, when they got to Ramadan, they tried to take as much advantage of it as they could. And that's exactly what each and every one of us was doing, right? We were trying to take as much advantage of Ramadan as we could. And then, once Ramadan came, right after Eid, what happened? Back to regular life, right? Ramadan is done. Now we got to get back into the swing of things, right? But the companions, radiallahu anhum ajma'een, they actually used to spend the 6 months after Ramadan reflecting on what they learned during Ramadan. Reflecting on all of the lessons that they learned. The things that they heard, that they benefited from. Those actions, those deeds that they started to increase in during Ramadan, they spent the 6 months after Ramadan trying to ensure and make sure that they continued throughout the rest of the year. They reflected on all of the lessons. They reflected on all of the tests and all of the hardship that they went through in Ramadan, and they tried to carry it out throughout the rest of the year. So what I want to do, I want to take an example of one of those. You know, out of all of the tests that the companions went through, especially in the month of Ramadan, there's one that singles itself out, which is the Battle of Badr. This battle where the companions were few in number, only about 300. And the Quraysh, 1,000. I want you to think about this. Think about how daunting that would be. You're 300 people, you got to go against 1,000 strong. And it's not just like just 1,000 people. No, these are 1,000 people with all of the material, with all of the training. They got all, and you got to go up against them. 3-1. It's crazy, right? Think about that. Like each and every person, you got to fight a whole bunch of people. It's tough, right? And even through this, you hear the narrations about how they were before they were going into it. They were resolute. They were strong. They had that certainty, that yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What was it that they had that allowed them to get through this trial and tribulation? What was it that they had that allowed them that, you know what, when they faced down 1,000 people and they're only 300, they were so confident. Why were they confident? Because they knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going to give them victory. So many lessons we can learn from this, but I actually just want to take one of them. You know, subhanAllah, one of the most amazing things about this battle is that the Quraysh, when they were coming 1,000 strong, they were super confident. They were like, there is absolutely no way that anything bad is going to happen to us at all. And more so than that, Shaitan was actually on their side. He was plotting and planning with them. They were like, we got this. But you know what happened? As soon as they got on the battlefield and they saw the Muslims, they saw something that was really unique, something that was really weird that they had never seen before. They saw that all of the Muslims were lined up together, strong. And that when one of them took a step, the rest of them took a step. They were united. They were standing there together. They fought as a unit. They acted as a unit. And because they acted as a unit, that's what led to their victory. The Quraysh, the ones that survived afterwards, they said this was something we had never seen before. They said that when the first line went through, and they were instructed by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, line up as you line up in salah. Line up in a straight line, and when one of you takes a step, all of you take a step. They said it was something, we'd never seen anything like that before. People, you moving together, like we had no idea what to do. It was the craziest thing that we had ever seen. And you know what? During the month of Ramadan, doing good things became easy. Fasting became easy. Doing good deeds, coming to the masjid became easy. Donating became easy. All of these good deeds, these things that we did, they became easier. Why did they become easier? One of the reasons is we had so many people around us doing it. It wasn't just that I'm doing it by myself. We all knew we had an entire community doing it with us, right? Didn't that make it easier for you? Didn't it make it easier for you to come to the masjid every night and pray Taraweeh? Why? Because you knew you had other people coming with you. And you had that social feeling that when you were coming into it, right? It made it a lot easier. When we come together as a community, when we come together as brothers and sisters, it makes everything that we go through easier. This is what the companions, radiallahu anhum ajma'in, they knew. They understood that when they come together, when they act together, there is nothing that can come between them. And that's something that all of us felt in the month of Ramadan. And you know what? After Ramadan, right? All of a sudden, oh man, I can't come to the masjid tonight. It's so tough. I don't think I'll be able to. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us we could. Every night in Ramadan we were able to, right? Oh, it's too hard to read the Quran. It's too hard to fast the 6 days of Shawwal. We did it for an entire month, didn't we? See, when we realize and when we understand and when we start to come together and do these actions together, not only am I the one who is benefiting, but all of us are benefiting. Just like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said that the believers are like, excuse me. He said that the believers are like a building. They are like the bricks in the building. That one brick over the other brick, they strengthen each other. That they strengthen each other. That each and every one of us, when we come together, when we're doing things together, when we do things as a unit, it makes each and every one of us stronger. That community that we form is what is going to give us success. And sometimes we lose sight of that. And you know, there's a beautiful hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he talks about the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's interesting because there are a lot of hadith you'll find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will say the most beloved deed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, showing us that there are a lot of deeds that are beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there is one in particular, one hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he is talking and where he says that the most beloved deed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those people who bring the most benefit to other people. That the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those that you and I can do that can bring benefit to one another. That it's not only about me. We have this individualistic mindset about it. That look, it's about me. I just got to worry about me, right? No. Here the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us, you know what? The most beloved deeds to Allah, the most beloved people to Allah are those that are most beneficial to other people. So if there are deeds that you and I can do that can bring benefit to someone else, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves it. So you know what? If I can encourage people to come to the masjid, you know what? Yes, you come to the masjid for salah, but make sure, you know what? After salah, we go out to eat. Why not? We do something good, you know what I mean? Encourage someone to come. Make them feel welcome. That when someone comes, someone's new, they're coming in right now. You know what you do? Smile at them. Give salam to them, whether you know them or not. Make sure that they feel welcome. Make sure that you are a source of happiness, because that's a benefit that you're bringing to them. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us that, you know what? That's of the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that amongst the most beloved deeds is not only being benefit to people, because you can benefit someone. You can do something nice to them. You can do something good for them and be of benefit to them. But sometimes the way we do it is terrible. Right? We know someone is in need and they need something. Here, take it. Right? It's like, dude, yeah, you're doing something good, but look at the way that you do it. We have to look at the way that we do it. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us that the most beloved people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those who bring happiness to others. Those who bring happiness to others. See, when I see that, you know what, being part of a community, being here at the masjid, yes, it's about my ibadah. It's about my connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you know what? It's also about me and you. It's about my relationship with you. Because if I can do something to make you happy, I am engaging in an act that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with. These are his most beloved deeds. If I just try and make you happy, whatever it might be, if I just try and make you happy, I'm engaging in an act that is most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it's not only trying to make each other happy, trying to make each other laugh, but the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam continues, and he says, not only bringing happiness to a person, but removing worry from them. Removing something that's tough on them, that's hard on them. Something that you know is weighing down on that person. That you know what? I know this person is going through something. I know they're going through something. And you know what? Maybe they just need someone to talk to. So I can just sit there and I can listen to them. And I can remove that worry from them. That is of the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam even mentions one of those ways where he says that yes, you remove that worry or take away a debt that someone owes. You know someone owes something. You know what? Help them doing it. You know someone owes, not only monetarily, not only you know someone owes something and you try and help them to pay it, but you know what? Someone is supposed to do something. And you know what? You help them do it. You help them do whatever it is. Because you know it's a source of worry for them. And you know it's something that they owe. And you also know that helping them in it is going to bring happiness to them. So you do it. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam continues. And he says, whomsoever amongst you not only want to remove something bad from your brother or sister's path, but you know what? It's not enough that I just, okay, yeah, I'll do this, right? No, you actually walk with them. And you help them fulfill their need. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that doing that is more beloved to him than spending an entire month in i'tikaf. What is i'tikaf? Staying in the masjid, doing nothing but worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that you going with your brother or sister and helping them fulfill a need that they have is more beloved than spending an entire month in the masjid doing nothing but worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That should tell us something, right? These are the things that the companions radiallahu anhum ajma'een, this is what they knew. They knew this, they understood it. And it was this that allowed them to be that community, that allowed them to be that unit that was victorious in so many aspects. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, يريد الله ليبين لكم ويهديكم سنن الذين من قبلكم ويتوب عليكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that what He wants for each and every one of us is to make things clear, is to make things apparent for us. وَيَهْدِيَكُمْ سُنَنَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ, and to guide us like the people who were guided before us. So He gives us all of these examples. See, during the month of Ramadan, we had a lot of things that we wanted to accomplish. We had a lot of things we wanted to accomplish. Did we accomplish all of them? Probably not. But you know what? We still have time. We still have time to accomplish those things that we have set out to do. And we have to remember that just because Ramadan is done, it doesn't mean those goals that we set for ourselves to complete during Ramadan that we didn't get to, that they're gone. Oh, khalas, Ramadan's done. I can't do them right now. It's done, right? No. We still have the opportunity. We still have the time to accomplish them now. But second, also to remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His infinite mercy, I want you to think about this. That if we sincerely intended to do something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to better ourselves, to better our community, and you know what? We didn't get around to doing it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us for our intention. So even though we didn't get to it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will still reward us for it. So I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows each and every one of us to truly and to honestly be that source of happiness, to be that source, to be the people who remove worry from our brothers and sisters. And I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts all of our good deeds in Ramadan, forgives us of all of our shortcomings, and allows us to keep up the good habits that we had in the month of Ramadan throughout the rest of the year. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وما والاه أما بعد. My brothers and sisters, Ramadan has passed us. And there were so many lessons that we learned in the month of Ramadan. So many amazing lessons that we learned in the month of Ramadan. And so many amazing things that we were able to accomplish in the month of Ramadan. And this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in the month of Ramadan that we don't get throughout the rest of the year. But that doesn't mean that just because there are all those extra blessings and all those extra opportunities in Ramadan, khalas, we just leave them. No, we have opportunities throughout the rest of the year. And we have to try and keep up all of those things that we got in Ramadan, keep them up throughout the rest of the year. Especially in this month of Shawwal. You know, I gave the example of the Battle of Badr, which happened in the month of Ramadan. In this month, the month of Shawwal, there was actually another battle that took place. Another battle that taught us a lot of lessons and taught the companions a lot of lessons. The Battle of Uhud. Now this was a battle where, you know what, the companions, the numbers, they still weren't there, but it wasn't 300 to 1,000, right? They had a little bit better numbers. The numbers weren't as bad. And they were confident. They said, look, we just overcame much better odds. We got this. We can do this, right? And they were so confident. They were confident, but they lost track. And we all know the story of this. We all know the story that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ himself was injured. That 70 companions were killed. 70. I want you to think about this. And they were a very tight-knit community. You know, think, okay, 70 people, you know, somewhere far off, it's, you know what I mean? It might not be as much, but I want you to think 70 people from your own community that you know, that you see. Think about how heavy that would be. Those were the losses that happened at that battle. And if we go through it and we look towards all the lessons, the main one that stands out, we know that they were winning the battle, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told the archers, stay on this mountain. Don't move. No matter what happens in the battle, stay up here. Don't leave your post. But what happened? They saw all the spoils of war, right? And they were like, no, I don't want to miss out. I want to go and get it. I don't want to miss out on it, right? Similarly for us, in the month of Ramadan, everything was going good, right? Then what happened? The month of Ramadan left us, and now all those distractions are back. And we're looking at them and we're like, ooh, I want them. And we're getting distracted. And we're forgetting about that mountaintop that we climbed in the month of Ramadan. That high that we were on. We're forgetting about it and we're going to be distracted. And we're going down. We cannot lose the momentum. We cannot lose what we gained during the month of Ramadan. But a reality of life is we're not going to be the exact same as we were in Ramadan. We will lose some things. And you know what? You remember the ayah that I mentioned before where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَكُمْ وَيَهْدِيَكُمْ سُنَنَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَيَتُوبَ عَلَيْكُمْ. He ends the ayah by saying, وَيَتُوبَ عَلَيْكُمْ. He wants us to be He wants to make things clear. And He wants us to be guided like people before us. Why? وَيَتُوبَ عَلَيْكُمْ. So we can go back to Him. You know the mushrikeen, the hypocrites in Medina, they were baffled. They said after the battle of Uhud, when the Muslims were defeated, it didn't make any sense. They came back to Medina and they were happy. They came back to Medina and they were working harder than they were before. Why? They were just defeated. How in the world are they acting like this? The companions of Allah, they knew and they understood. that they can always go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That the reality of life is, you and I, we will slip, we will fall, we will make mistakes. But what truly defines us is what we do once we make those mistakes. Whether or not we get back up and we learn from them. Whether or not, when we forget that we're supposed to be doing things, when we slip, when we make mistakes, do we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do we try and improve on ourselves? Because just because we left some of those good habits that we had in Ramadan during these 15 days of Shawwal, they're gone, you know what? I can start them back up right now. It's never too late. We can always go back to those good habits that we had. We can always improve ourselves. It's not only for the month of Ramadan. It's for Shawwal. It's for the rest of the year that we should always be improving and trying to move closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows each and every one of us to continually move closer to Him. And I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes each and every one of us amongst the tawabin, amongst the people who are always going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows each and every one of us to take all of the good habits and the good deeds that we started in Ramadan and continue them throughout the rest of the year. And I ask and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives each and every one of us of all of our shortcomings. Ibadallah, inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله وأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.